welcome to another week with author Ejamie. So going to head on my walk in a little bit. Have to drop off some stuff at the library, and then we'll likely hit up the thrift store. And I'm also looking for a new friend for Baby Vinca because Chrissy unfortunately did not make it. I'm guessing it just wasn't a good indoor plant, house plant. Um, that I have no green thumb and I'm still learning about that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, Chrissy went to that great garden in the sky. Um, so gonna be looking for a friend for her. I might pick that up today. Um, yeah, I'm gonna head to the thrift store, go to the library. It's finally fall weather. I don't think we'll be having any more like 30 plus humidity crap anymore for the rest of the year. Dear God, please. Um, I'd much I've decided that I'd much rather have it um, cold. Talk to me again in January. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I did get finally my winter coat that I'm so happy with. I think it's so pretty. And now that I think about it, it might make me look like Little Red Riding Hood. But let me see if I can show you guys this. It's got the hood which is black. Can't really, because I'm on like my webcam here, so not sure how effectively I'll be able to show this off, but I can assure you it is very, very pretty. Um, and yes, got my winter coat. Very happy about that. Got it at the Evil Day Job. Um, so employee discount. Woo! We love her. Um, reading wise, I am officially halfway through Ruth. Still loving it. We've hit a bit of a lull, a little bit there for a while, where Ruth she was living with Mr. Benson and his sister and Sally, and that was all great, but it got a little not it got a little stale, especially with like Sally, because Sally likes to tell her some stories, and Sally goes on about these stories, and it just sort of you're at the point where no more, Sally, no more. Just let's move on. But we've hit a sort of moving on point where everybody loves Ruth, but that makes me scared for her because everybody loves Ruth because they think that she is a widow and not that she did the horrible, horrible crime of being seduced and abandoned by a man. So they all think that she's a widow with her child, and not that the child is illegitimate. But she has now hit the point where there's this family, Mr. and I think Mrs. Bradshaw, who their daughter, I believe, Jamaica, I think her name is Jemima, um, is so like thinks Ruth is just like the coolest ever, and so Mr. Bradshaw invites Ruth to come live in his house to sort of, I guess, be like a governess kind of to Jemima, I think, and Mr. Mr. Benson and his sister, they're all like, oh, like this is great, like this is. We're worried though because if Bradshaw finds out that she's not actually a widow, um, things could get really, really bad for Ruth. But at the same time, they don't want to stop her from having this opportunity to sort of advance her future and maybe like build a good life for herself. but illegitimate baby though. So that's sort of where we are, and I'm scared for her. I'm very scared for Ruth. I wish that I had this edition of Ruth. I really like these Penguin Classic editions. I really wish that I had gotten, but it was what I found at the thrift store at the time. The same edition for Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, because like this one's fine, but it would be nice. I would like to have all my classics as like this edition, because this whole like cover thing just sort of screams classic literature to me. But that was the edition of Pride and Prejudice that I found. I finished Recipe for a Perfect Wife, and I half enjoyed it. I just say that I half enjoyed it, and I will explain more about my thoughts on this book when I do my book wrap up, which I will be doing. I'll be filming that today. Yeah, so this week I'll be doing my book wrap up and a book haul. So hopefully I'll have that for you guys next week. I'm halfway through, more than halfway through, editing Blood Vows Book 4, Choice. And I'm hoping to finish editing that this week, because we're at the end of September. It's September 28th today. We're at the end of September. I want to have it off to my editor by October. So these last 3 days, I want to buckle down and finish editing it and then send it to the editor, because I want to release this book in October. I really, really, really want to release it in October, because it's been long enough. It's been long enough. So yeah, I finished Recipe for a Perfect Wife by Karma Brown. So I'm going to be starting Roseanne Bittner's Unforgettable. I love Roseanne Bittner's books so much. I have Thunder on the Plains on my keeper shelf, and I read an ebook. I think it was Untamed Heart or something Heart. I uh it yeah I'll it's oh god yeah, something like that. But I loved both of them so much, so very much. Looking forward to reading this one. So this week, oh, let me tell you, I forgot to tell you guys the story of when I went to the lake last week. When I went to the lake last week, and I explored it, and it was beautiful. But I forgot to tell you guys about this one moment where I'm sitting down reading my book, and this idiot comes down and sits not next to me, but sort of like in the next bench over, close enough, proceeds to take off his shoes, he is barefoot, and starts cracking his knuckles. Not these knuckles, which would be bad enough. No. He starts cracking his toes. First of all, no. And secondly, ew. And thirdly, no. You're in public sitting next to somebody. It's one thing if you're cracking your hand knuckles, which still is just like, no. But your feet? Who does that? This guy, apparently. So yeah, I can't believe I forgot to tell you guys about that story. But yeah, so the plan for this week, tomorrow, so today we're going to the library, we're going to thrift store. Tomorrow, I'm planning to go to Kensington Market and sort of explore that. And now Kensington Market is this very sort of kitschy, artsy-fartsy bohemian-ish kind of neighborhood in Toronto, where they have like all kinds of like bougie, not necessarily bougie, because they're not like, but kind of like very like sort of like kitschy kind of like shops. And if they happen to have, I don't know. I'm I'm going in an innocent little babe. I don't know if they have a bookstore around there. I'm assuming they would, but if they do, then I will likely go in there. But yeah, so tomorrow the plan is Kensington Market. Um, so I'm going to head out now. Very much looking forward to going out in my uh, winter coat in this beautiful fall cool weather. And um, yeah, I'm primarily going to be like returning stuff to the library now, not necessarily picking up, because as the weather gets colder, I might not want to go and like pick up stuff like at the library. I'll be doing probably like shorter walks. So right now it's just sort of like returning stuff to the library. Um, yeah, just looking forward to that. So heading out today. This week I'm also planning maybe to bake some cookies. I from my cookie mix that I got from the Dollarama last week. Yeah, so that's sort of the plan right now. Book wrap up, book haul, finish up editing Blood Vows Book 4, and visit Kensington Market. So that's the plan for this week. So I will talk to you guys later. Hello! So, just got back from my walk, and it is so nice outside. It is like 13 degrees or something, and that's Celsius because we are here in Toronto. And it's just cool, and there's a nice cool wind, and it's like breezy, and it's just comfortable. It's like sweater weather, and you just it's perfect. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with this weather so far. Um, so went on my walk and went to my thrift store, but first, a little sad news. Chrissy, our chrysanthemum, did not make it. She has gone to that great big garden in the sky. Um, she was just too high maintenance for little old me, little old newbie me in my apartment. Um, so I don't think uh, I'm thinking I'm gonna be sticking to like because Baby Vinca, it's been like 2 months now, and like she's still thriving, she's still good, and she's growing, and she's like she's all great. So I think I'm going to be sticking to um, smaller, uh, sort of low maintenance plants because I got Baby Vinca a friend today, a new friend today. Hopefully she'll stick around, and it's a Kalanchoe, I think it's called Kalanchoe, or by its other name, Widow's Thrill, which I think it's a pretty cool name. Um, and she's got a bunch of buds that still need to flower and hopefully will. And she only needs to be watered. Well, she needs light though. It says that like she needs a lot of light, which, as we're heading into fall and winter, I wonder. But in my like little like apartment, like I have like a little ledge there. It's on top of the like air conditioner thingy. Um, so I'm not sure if the lighting situation is going to be okay for her, but she only needs to be watered like once every 2 weeks or so. And Baby Vinca, I'm watering like once a week. Um, so hopefully she'll be okay. I'm more hopeful for her considering that she's smaller and more low maintenance, but we'll see how that goes. I also forgot to show you guys that I got my slippers that I wanted, that I was talking about in my last week's vlog about being like the most comfy slippers, and that like my sister had them and she like gave them to me. And I ordered them and they came in a few days ago. And so let me show you. They're my slippers. They're so comfortable. I mean, just, they're like cushy, but like, I have ones that like, they seemed cushy, but they're like memory foam or what have you, so that like, they sort of like, when you kind of flatten them, they kind of like, there's a little bit of cushion, but not really, not that I wanted. These, like, you walk on them and they bounce back, and they're like actually like cushy, and like the sides are cushy too, and they're just, oh, they feel so nice. They feel so nice after like being at work and then for coming home, and just like everything comes off, pajamas come on, and these go on my feet, and they are wonderful. They had the cheese danishes at my little cafe here, so I got they had 3, so I grabbed the 3, because we know the story of the scarcity of cheese danishes in this city. I got my cheese danishes, and I have one later for my nighttime snack. And went to my thrift store and got some stuff, some books. I'm going to show you those. First one is Amanda Ashley. And, oh, there is an insert cover. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, that makes me so happy. And it's called Deeper Than the Night. And I think it's giving me, like, the back blurb is giving me, like, paranormal vibes, because the dude might be a vampire. So, yeah, we shall see. But he also kind of looks like a little bit like a young not Keith Urban. Keith Urban? No, that's the singer. Carl Urban? Who was the bad villain who was Eomer? Eomer in Lord of the Rings. And he's in The Boys now, and he was the bad villain vampire in Priest. Or, was he a vampire? He was the bad villain monster dude in Priest. Yeah, he looks like Carl Urban. But, yeah, so that's sort of, it looks like a historical paranormal, if he actually is a vampire. My classic that I picked up was Daniel Defoe's Moll Flanders. Again, not my Penguin classics that I wanted, but it'll do for now. Eventually, if I end up like really liking it, then I will want to get it in the Penguin classics and have like all my classics in the Penguin classic, except for, well, if I want to get a second copy of Jane Eyre, I might. But I have a copy of Jane Eyre that is beautiful that my sister gave me, so I don't want to like swap out that one for a Penguin Classics one. But yeah, Moll Flanders. I remember watching some of the movie that was with Robin Wright and Morgan Freeman. Yeah. So I am very much, and I loved what I saw of the movie. I don't think I saw the whole thing. I don't think I got to see the whole thing for some reason or another. But yeah, I loved what I saw, and so definitely want to read the book, and I want to find the movie again to rewatch. And I also got, I don't know if I have this book already. I was going back and forth, but it's so beautiful that I figured even if I have it already, I might do a giveaway with like if the other cover's different, because this cover is beautiful, even though it's peeling a little bit. And it's In the Name of the Family by Sarah Dunnett. And I love Sarah Dunnett's books. I have Sacred Hearts there, and I have Sacred Hearts, which I have read, which is gorgeous, and I have The Birth of Venus, which I have on my TBR still to read, and now In the Family, which is based around Lucrezia Borgia. So the fact that it's based around Lucrezia Borgia makes me think that I have it already, because I remember but In the Name of the Family. I'm really looking forward to that. I love Sarah Dunnett's writing style. She's just so like, her writing style is just so rich and like just beautiful, and I love her. I love her. So next, last one is a Judith McNaught hardcover called Remember When. Yeah, so that is what I got on my walk today. Going to, did I do my, yeah, I think I'm going to do my wrap up first, and then I'm going to make lunch. Some chicken. I might show you guys how I make this certain chicken recipe that I do. Um, that could be fun. So yeah, that's sort of it. And then, so I'm going to do my wrap up, going to have some lunch, going to write or edit the Blood Vows book 4. And yeah, that's sort of my plan. I might I might roughly edit or not, what's the word that I'm looking for? Get the Patreon version of my Last of the Mohicans reaction ready and saved and that for to put up on Patreon for you guys. I had all the words just like fell out of my head just there. Yes, I might do that too, because that's not going to take a lot of time. It's just sort of like putting stuff together, and yeah. But yeah, so that's going to be the plan for the rest of the day. So I will talk to you guys later. Hello! So, it's another day, and we are heading to Kensington Market today. I'm very excited about that. It is a sort of kitschy, artsy-fartsy kind of neighborhood here in Toronto that I don't remember ever going through. So that should be interesting. I always sort of wanted to, but never got around to. Um, and it's been fun sort of going to like different places that I have always known existed in my city, but just never got the urge to go to. And like now that like I don't know, like I'm getting older, and these walks have like really helped sort of my mental health. And it's the point where like I was fine before. Like I told you that like in my 20s I had like depression and all that, and I've suffered through panic attacks since I was 11. Thankfully, I rarely get one now. Rarely get one now. But it and like things are like so much better now. I'm very sort of happy in my life now, in like my little apartment with my writing, and the evil day job is it's still retail, so there's stress there, but it's one of the more enjoyable retail day jobs that I've had. So even that is sort of better. But I just find when I go on these walks, I just feel so nice, and it just puts me in sort of a better frame of mind to sort of face when I go back to the evil day job, and am sort of like better to handle, I think, the stress and worry that customer service brings into my life. So yeah, and just sort of like exploring different places in the city. What's the word? What's the expression? Sort of refills the well, as it were. Um, so yeah, today we're going to Kensington Market. Yesterday was great. I did my filmed my book wrap up for the month of September, so that will you should see that up soon. And I watched a couple of movies that I had gotten from the library, and they're due back soon, so I need to watch them. Yesterday I watched Green Book with Viggo Mortensen and I'm so sorry, Mahershala Ali, and it was fantastic. Fantastic. I don't understand what the hullabaloo was about. I don't understand people who have a problem with this movie. I sincerely don't. Because what I saw was nothing but a wonderful sort of exploration of people changing and just becoming better human beings. Like, I don't understand. And I see it a lot in, like, Turkish dramas and certain books where, like, if someone is an alpha hole or is a misogynistic piece of crap in the beginning of something, the viewer will, or the reader will automatically, like, write them off. And it's like, no, I'm willing to go on that journey to what to. I'm not interested in perfect characters. I'm not. Like, cinnamon rolls are nice, and occasionally, they give me the warm and fuzzies, but I wouldn't want a diet of pure, just perfect people all the time. Watching somebody grow and develop and change is much more interesting. So that's what I saw here. That's what I saw in this movie, and the friendship that developed between these two was perfection. Just again, I am not a black person, so I cannot speak to somebody else's experience. I can only say that I find the messages in that movie vitally important and perfectly done, perfectly executed, in my opinion. I'm also watching this movie called Another Mother's Son, and it's about a woman. This is a hereto unknown to me tiny island in Britain that actually did get occupied by the Nazis. I'm not sure if it was Jersey or if it was like by close, like near Jersey. Yeah, the island of Jersey. Yeah, it was like the only British, I think, territory that got occupied. And this woman whose son dies while he's off fighting the war, she discovers a Russian prisoner of war, and she hides him from the Nazis. Now, I have an hour to go, and I'm quite enjoying it so far. But why I wanted to talk about it was there is a boy in this movie that I don't know if you'll be able to tell who that is, but let's talk about Game of Thrones for a second. Do you remember little Ollie, who betrayed Jon Snow a little bit and stabbed him a little bit? Yeah, that kid. That kid's in this movie. And when I first saw that kid, I was like, that kid is going to rat out the Russian. He's going to rat them out to the Nazis. Thankfully, so far, he has not. He's proven to be a good boy in this movie. And who also should show up? Brianna from Outlander is in this movie. I'm not sure how, like, I just saw a little scene where she shows up. So she's not like a major part of the movie that I've experienced so far. Again, I have an hour to go. She might show up later, but she showed up once. And Sophie Skelton popped up. Like, that was like a shock to me, because it's like, when I got this and I saw like the back, I thought that I recognized the boy, and it was bothering me, because I was like, who is this boy? I know that face. And then once I saw him on screen and acting, I was like, that's Ollie! That's Ollie from Game of Thrones. But Brianna was like completely a surprise. Sophie Skelton just suddenly was there on my screen. Hi, Brianna. Fancy meeting you here. And she plays a woman who is, I guess, either like is in a relationship with a German officer. And so there's that. I don't know if she's going to show up later, but that was a nice little plop in of a cameo. So yeah, I have an hour to go on that one and really enjoying it so far. I've passed the halfway mark on Ruth by Elizabeth Gaskell. And oh my god. Guess who's back? Back again. Billingham is back. And Ruth is fucked. So, correction from yesterday. Jemima is not the girl that Ruth is going to be a governess to. Jemima is like actually closer to Ruth's own age, and she, at the point where we started, was like, thinks that Ruth is like the coolest ever. Ruth was actually hired to be a governess to Jemima's like two sisters, I think Mary and Elizabeth. And Jemima has this suitor who she's not really into, but then she's sometimes sort of into. I don't think anybody's really sure about Jemima's feelings about this guy. But anyway, at a certain point, he decides he's had enough. And then he starts looking at Ruth and sees how sweet she is and how kind she is, and she's never rude to him, and blah, blah, blah. So he's sort of like setting his eye on Ruth now, and Jemima don't like it. Jemima don't like it. She is being a little bit of a shrew and rude to Ruth, which is pissing me off, because Ruth, from what I've seen so far, is not interested in the dude and doesn't understand why Jemima is being mean to her and doesn't want to be her friend anymore. And then, to top it all off, they have to go to this, like, cottage, out, like, they have to go to, like, this beach house or something, like, outside of, they have to go, like, closer to the sea, because one of the daughters is not feeling well, and so the doctor's like, go to the sea air will make her feel better. And then Bradshaw comes, and he's like, oh, I'm bringing 2 of my friends for dinner, because politics reasons, and, like, government, whatever reasons. And who should one of the dudes be? Mr. Henry Bellingham. He's back. And Ruth has been this whole time playing the sad widow with her baby. And Henry, of course, knows the truth and could everything. I'm scared for Ruth right now. I'm scared for my girl right now. So we're past the halfway point. So enjoying this book. And so, like, pleasantly surprised, because I haven't enjoyed a classic that much since Jane Eyre. Admittedly, if I were to rate them right now, I would put Jane Eyre a little bit higher, simply because in this middle chunk of the book, there's too much focus on, like, other people. I skimmed a little bit because I want to get back to Ruth. But there's a bit in the middle there, there's like a bit too much focus on the father and the politics and Jemima and does she like the guy, does she not like the guy? Yeah. So I just sort of skimmed that a little bit to get back to Ruth. So we're back with Ruth, and now Henry Bellingham is back. So I'm scared for her. Yeah, so going to head out now. I have the printer here, which I still haven't set up. I might do that today. Oh, got a good dent done on Blood Vows Book 4, The Choice, editing that. So I think I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save the printer thing for later because I want to devote all my like free time to getting that done. Because today and tomorrow I want to get the edit done for Blood Vows Book 4, and then send it to my editor. So that's sort of going to be my focus. I'm going to come home, I'm going to do my book haul, filmed book haul for September. So gonna do a book haul from there, and I get also excited about doing book hauls because that means that I can take, like, there'll be more room there, and then I can put more from that stack up there. Because yeah, we got some piles growing. We got some piles growing because I have an addiction. I can't help it. It's a compulsion. Friends reference. Yeah, so gonna head out now. Gonna show you guys around Kensington Market, and then come home, do my book haul, and do some more editing. Finish this movie, and we'll see about what we'll be watching next. So talk to you guys later. So just got back from my walk, from my trip to go explore Kensington Market, and it was nice. It was not as like kitschy and like artsy fartsy as I remember hearing about it being. Um, First of all, it smelled amazing because you go there and it's primarily restaurants and like vintage clothing shops now, pretty much, with like the odd food market thrown in. Um, so not quite what I was hoping it would be, but it was still pleasant. It was still nice. It smelled amazing. All the like the food coming from like the different restaurants and stuff. Um, I had gone actually hoping to get a cameo ring because the one I had got the band got damaged, broken. Um, but they didn't have like really like little like jewelry kiosks or shops or anything like that. So that was disappointing. Um, but it's still nice. It was still okay. Um, Funny thing is, on the I had never been to Kensington Market, but on the opposite side is Augusta Avenue, which college in Augusta is like Portuguese Central. So I was pretty much, not that I lived in that area, but I was pretty much raised on the exact opposite side of Kensington Market because Augusta Avenue has all like the Portuguese stores and has a lot of them. Not all because there's other areas that are Portuguese centered as well. Um, and so I would like to like sort of maybe explore sort of like those Portuguese areas more eventually. Um, but so while after I had done seeing everything around in Kensington Market, I remembered that I took a little detour. Well, first let me show you what I got actually from there. I did find one of the first shops that I went into had this little book section. And well, I found Isabel Allende's Inez of My Soul. And again, I am not, I hear that she does have, I'm not sure if all her books have it, but I'm pretty sure that I think House of the Spirits is, has like magical realism in it, which I think we have uh, confirmed now that I am not a fan of. But um, just the plots of her books always sound so interesting to me. And she does those like kind of like saga books that I love so much. So, and I hadn't heard of this one. Um, I had heard, and I believe I have on my shelf, House of the Spirits and or Daughter of Fortune. But Inez of My Soul I had not heard of. So, looking forward to that. And then that was pretty much all I found there in that neighborhood. So I did a little detour because I remember a old bookstore that I used to go to that when I was a youngin had like books for like 25 cents and like paperbacks and um, just like bins of books. And I thought, let's go there. And so I took a little detour and went downtown and went to that bookstore. And it's not the same. I remember when I was younger, it had all kind of like different genres of um, fiction, and like it had um, a big romance section. The romance section now is pretty non-existent. It doesn't even have its own category. It's pretty much, this is ABC Books downtown. Um, they don't have a romance section anymore. Um, and they have DVDs there, which I restrained myself because I was like, no, I still have stuff from the library that I need to watch and get back. But yeah, they have, it's primarily literary fiction and classic literature that I saw there. They have the sections like the literary fiction, they have it labeled as genre fiction. It's not genre fiction. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. They have, I believe they have like a science fiction fantasy section, but yeah, it's primarily literary fiction and classic literature. But I did pick up a few things there, so I thought I'd show you guys that. We have Pam Jenoff's The Lost Girls of Paris. So, and that was that I got for $1.99. That was in one of the outside bins. And I like Pam Jenoff. She, I believe, wrote The Diplomat's Wife, which I absolutely adored. I loved that book so very much. Yeah, The Diplomat's Wife. Love that book so much. So yeah, looking forward to this again. It's the same sort of thing set during World War II, and there's like female spies and like all that stuff. So this was, I think, my favorite book that I got there. And they had like a few like Nora Roberts, and they had like Jodi Pickle, and like, but that's like as close to like popular fiction and like Pam Jenoff, and that was as close pretty much to popular fiction as they got. 99% of it was literary fiction and classic literature. Next one I got was Love in Exile by Aisha Kulin, and that was $4.99. Not bad, not bad. So yeah, the prices were not the same, which I understand. You know, it's like 30 something, 35 years ago, let's say. The prices would not be the same. But and this is a love story between a Christian and a Muslim. So, and it's written, and the author is Turkish. So, yeah, Aisha is a Turkish name. So, really looking forward to that. That's my little bit of romance that I got there. I found Eli Wiesel, and I've heard a lot about this book, Night, and it's sort of his memoir of being a Holocaust survivor. And one of my favorite reviews that I've gotten for my Resistance trilogy, my Resistance book trilogy, that is set during World War II and involves the Holocaust. Somebody told me in a review that it reminds them of Night by Eli Wiesel. That got me. That got me in the feels. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. Next I had is I wanted to try F. Scott Fitzgerald again, because I liked The Great Gatsby, despite the fact that that the narrator was not Gatsby or Daisy, and despite that whole plot with Nick What's-His-Face, who I did not give a crap about. But I still loved the writing style and sort of that kind of genre of like the Jazz Age and that. So I wanted to try another F. Scott Fitzgerald. So I got the classic This Side of Paradise for $3.99, which was awesome. And finally, we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying with Toni Morrison. I got The Bluest Eye, which I heard a lot of good things about. I got that for $2.99. So I didn't spend that much. They little bits, they were pretty discounted books. Um, they had a different edition there for like $9.99, and it was like a smaller sort of hardcover. And then I saw this one, and I was like, well, yeah, no, why not? So yeah, that's what I got today. So going to do my book haul for the month of September next. And I picked up, because I knew that when I got home I wasn't going to want to make anything or like cook anything, so I picked up a chicken Caesar wrap from Shoppers. Um, so I'm going to do my book haul and then have a late lunch, settle in, and watch the rest of Another Mother's Son. I have about an hour left, and get my editing done. Excuse me. Get my editing done on some more editing on Blood Vows Book 4, Will's Story. And I started on the bus, on the subway. The subway back home, I started Roseanne Bittner's Unforgettable, and I'm like 6 pages in. But I like it so far, but I could already tell you that the Pearl Clutchers on Twitter, on book Twitter, would have so many problems and write reams and reams of essays. Oh, there you go. Stay there. About like what is wrong and what is problematic and what is not politically correct about the book. Yeah. 6 pages in, I love it so far. So that's where we are. Yeah, so that's sort of going to be for what's in for the rest of the night. Yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. Tomorrow, the plan is to go to one of those and track down one of those like free little library things, because I saw on the I saw there's a bunch of them in Toronto, so that's going to be fun going to those different ones. Tomorrow will be our first one, which is close by where I live, and I never noticed it before because it's down a street that I don't usually go down. We will go down that street tomorrow and hunt down this free little library. So that should be fun for tomorrow. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. So today I am visiting my very first free little library. I'm very excited because even if the selection is like not great, just knowing that like we have these now, me being aware that these exist, I'm just looking forward to going to other ones eventually and like seeing like just different ones around my city. So gotta go to the library, drop off some stuff, and going to find this free little library that's supposedly close by me that I never knew that existed. So looking forward to that. Then depending on what they have, I might not go to a thrift store to pick up some books. I might go to the thrift store to pick up some books. Either way, I'm going to drop off some books there at it's the way free little libraries work. If you don't know, is if you're a good, nice person, you take a book but you leave a book. So it's sort of that sort of system. So I'm going to take a few books, and I saw when I was looking for like the directions to go to this free little library, there was a review on it that said the spaces were like not that big. So I'm gonna take like some small books. Should I show you what I'm gonna take? Yeah, why not? Why not? So I'm going to take the or should I take other ones? This should not be taking this long of a decision for me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll take these. I'm going to be dropping off Recipe for a Perfect Wife by Karma Brown, Charlotte Bell Allen's Night Magic, Victoria Alexander's The Shocking Secret of a Guest at the Wedding, and my annotated copy of Sula by Toni Morrison. And I think that'll be fun for somebody when they pick up this book to see all these like tabs and comments in there. So those are the 4 that I am taking to drop off at the Free Little Library. And so we'll see what we get from there, if anything. Yep, so that's the plan. And then when I get back, it's pure editing day. Just editing. I am almost done editing Blood Vows Book 4, The Choice. And I finished putting together the Patreon version of Last of the Mohicans. My reaction for Last of the Mohicans. Just gotta like compress that down a little bit because the file's like really big. And then I'm going to edit my book wrap up for the month of September, and we'll do the book wrap up, and then last week's weekly vlog to put that together for you guys to have for this Sunday. I'm usually being pretty good about uploading it on Sunday, the weekly vlogs, so try to get that done. Yeah, so that's going to be the plan for the rest of the day. For lunch, I am in the mood for pasta. Pasta. Yeah. And, what, oh, what did yesterday I finished, finally, Another Mother's Son, the movie, with which was about a woman who hides a Russian POW from the Nazis. That ending, though. It was based on a true story, so they couldn't change the ending. But that ending, though. Yeah. And I watched the first 2 movies in this trilogy from of Kenneth Branagh's Wallander series. And these are his last 3 movies in the series. So I still have 1 more to go. And I love this series so much. And I'm sad that these are like the last 3, but I know that there's ones that I haven't seen yet, so looking forward to watching those when I can. Yeah, so it's if you don't know, it's based on the series of mystery series by Henning Mankell, I believe. Henning Mankell mystery series, and he plays the title character of Wallander, who is a Swedish detective, and yeah, it's really, really good. Kenneth Branagh I have loved since Hamlet, since I saw him play, since in the movie Hamlet, absolutely. And If you don't know, he directed the semi-autobiographical, I guess, Belfast with Katrina Balfe from Outlander and Jamie Dornan from The 50 Shades. Beautiful movie. Beautiful movie. Oh my god. But yeah, his Wallander series. So that's going to be watching the last movie in that one, The Troubled Man, today. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to mention. My mom's coming back from Portugal. She was here like a few weeks ago, but there was because of the Queen's death, everything was sort of postponed, so she couldn't do her application thing, whatever government immigration thing that she had to do. So they had to reschedule her appointment for, I believe, either this week or next week. Like, she's hoping that she can get it done this coming week. Otherwise, she's going to have to stay 2 weeks instead of just one. She's planning for just one, but likely will go to my sister's. She's staying with my sister for this week. And we'll probably go over there and visit her and hang out with my sister and maybe watch the end of Vikings. We're almost done. And probably watch more of Stranger Things. Yeah, so the plan for today is go to the Free Little Library, maybe to the thrift store, and then it's Editapalooza up in here. Oh, a little update on Ruth by Elizabeth Gaskell, which I am almost done. Almost. And I'm excited to get it done because once I finish this, I will start annotating The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons, which will go to one of you lovely people if you would like my annotated copy of Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. Now, Ruth, that jackass Bellingham is back, and he basically threatens her. He finds out about Leonard, who's their son, and he basically threatens her and is sort of like, if you don't, I'd like us to pick up where we left off, and meaning I want you to like be my. I don't know if he's married at this point. He hasn't mentioned it, but basically I want you to be my hoe, and I will make sure that Leonard has the education that he wants and all the like good things in life that he wants. But I want you to be my hoe again. And if you refuse, he's basically threatening to expose her to all of like her, Bradshaw, who employs her, to the whole society in town. That she is not a widow whose husband, she's not a widow and her son is illegitimate, basically, is what he's threatening her with. I need Bellingham to die. I need him to die and get eaten by a lion. So, very interested to see how this is going to go. Our Ruth is in a pickle. Our Ruth is in a pickle, and I feel so bad for her. Because she doesn't deserve any of this shit. She was freaking 16 when he seduced her. And just, oh, yeah. So, that's where we are with Elizabeth Gaskell's Ruth. I also wanted to mention signs that you're getting old. So I went to Kensington Market yesterday, and then I went and took a little detour to a bookstore that I had known about. And it's like really downtown, And I've discovered that my area that I live in now, I like that it's not downtown. And I used to love like going downtown and like being around like all the, like the shops and the just the people and all that. And like now, not so much. I didn't like being downtown. There was too much noise. And mind you, I don't live in the suburbs. I don't live in like some, like quiet little like tree lined neighborhood or anything like that. Like, but where I do live, it's still like quieter than downtown. And I discovered that I don't like downtown anymore. And I think that's a sign that I'm getting old. That and the hot flashes. So yeah, that is a discovery that I made about myself. Because I, I knew like for a while now that like when I would go to like the mall, like the Eaton Center, I've stopped liking going to the mall for the most part for a while now. Because there's like too many people. And when I would go, I would just head straight to Indigo, Chapter's Indigo, the bookstore, get what I wanted, and get out. But I'm finding that I'm liking it less and less. And I just feel so much better when I'm walking around here or when I'm walking around a park. Like today, the weather it's a little, well, it's 19 degrees, which it's cooler than it was in the summer, but a little warmer than it's been this week. So yesterday was cooler and I didn't really have a lot of time because I took a long time doing what I was doing. So I didn't like stop at a park and like do any reading or what have you. Today the weather is a little bit warmer, so depending on how today goes, I might go and like sit in a park and read for a while. Maybe. We shall see. But yeah, I realize that I don't like downtown anymore. So yeah, that's going to be it for this clip here. I'm going to head out now and we'll see what we discover. Talk to you later. So just got back from my walk, and it was, there was something about it today that just made me appreciate it more after yesterday, which, okay, don't get me wrong, yesterday was nice, yesterday was fine, but I just realized that I'm not a fan of, I wouldn't want to be downtown. Like, today just made me appreciate where I live more. Because it's just, everything I need is within walking distance, and that's all fine. You know, I wouldn't want to live out in, like, rush, like, some kind of, like, neighborhood that's just, like, out, like, in the middle of the boonies. I wouldn't want that. But just it's just calmer. It's calmer where I live. And you can still, like, you can walk down to, like, one of, like, our main streets, and, you know, there's shops there, and there's libraries there, and there's, like, everything you need is, like, within walking distance. But it's not that madness of, like, downtown Toronto. And I just appreciated it so much more today. It was so nice. It was so nice. I found the free little library, and I'm going to show you what I got there. And I got a few things. So it wasn't a total, like, you know, like, I didn't expect a bookstore when I went. And, you know, it wasn't bad. It was, got some stuff, and, left some stuff. So, hopefully people will, like that. And on my way back, I didn't know, like, if I was going to go to the park and sit there for a while, but I ended up doing it. I went to, like, a little small park, that's, on my way, like, in my neighborhood, and I sat there for a while, and I read for a while, because I figured take advantage before soon enough it'll be too chilly to, sit in a park and read. So I thought I would grab one last little moment where I could sit in a park and just read my book. So that was enjoyable. And the weather is just lovely. It's sunny, but it's breezy, so it's, like, it's not too sort of like that sort of humid, overpowering just ick that happens in the summer. It was nice. It was very pleasant, very, very pleasant. So let me show you what I got from the free little library. So first one that I got was Nora Roberts' High Noon, and I don't think I've read this one before. No, I don't think so. And, again, I'm not much of a fan of, romantic suspense, which Nora Roberts does pretty much a lot of, and pretty much, I think, exclusively now. But, you know, it's Lenora. I wasn't going to leave her there. So, yeah, I decided to grab that. And this one I got a kick out of. Dawson's Creek. A Dawson's Creek novel. I didn't know that these existed. Or if I did know, I had forgotten. But I thought it was so cool. It's like Dawson's Creek fan fiction. Yeah. What? I had to grab that one. Pacey and Joey forever, by the way. Don't come at me, don't argue with me, you're wrong. It's Pacey and Joey. This one is a YA, and it's Yours Truly Loved Janie, and it's the Wildfire series. And I grabbed it because I remember loving these sort of like YA books where, like, I can't explain it, but if you've seen, like, these kind of covers, you know what I'm talking about. There's, they had, like, romance lines, like, couples, and, like, stuff like that. And just, I loved these, like, these YA books so much. So I'm looking forward to this one. And 1981. 1981, the year my sister was born. My sister, Julia LeBlanc O'Shea of the Fantastic Outlander videos here on YouTube. It's the year that she was born. So I had to grab that. And I also grabbed an old school Harlequin Presents. So excited when I saw this. Saved from Sin. Yep. Yeah, by Lindsay Armstrong. And it was written in 1985. So I love these old school Harlequins with like the vintage covers so much. And finally, a book that I've heard a lot about. Songs My Mother Taught Me, a novel by Audrey Thomas. I have heard a lot about this book, so I want to give it a shot. Grabbed it and very interested in trying this one out. And this one was written in, it's an old one, I can tell. Ooh, 1973. 1973. Yeah, second printing was 1976, but 1973. I'm so looking forward to reading this. So that's what I grabbed from the free little library. Very excited about that. So the only thing I spent money on today, the only thing, was a Tim Hortons strawberry watermelon quencher, which is a juice, because I wanted to. It was nice enough and like warm enough, but again with that nice little breeze, that I wanted to have it to drink as I sat in the park and read. So that was really, really nice. So for the rest of the day, I'm going to watch the last movie in the Wallander series. Very, it's so good. I told you before, Wallander is Kurt Wallander, played by Kenneth Branagh, and throughout the first couple of movies, you meet his father, who is, I believe, played by David, I think, Warner, who he was in Horatio Hornblower, and he was also most likely known as the jackass bodyguard or guard or valet of Billy Zane, who chases Rose and Jack through the ship in Titanic. David Warner was that guy, and he plays, in the first couple of movies, he plays Kurt Wallander's father. And he has Alzheimer's or dementia or something. And in the first couple of movies in this set, Kurt Wallander is starting to have sort of symptoms of something. Like there's something going on with him. He's forgetting things. He gets dizzy sometimes. He kind of zones out a few times. So now it's at the point where is he going to be suffering? Is he headed towards the same road that his father was, with Alzheimer's and dementia? Is that what's happening to him? So I'm very interested to see what the last movie holds. I've loved this series so very much. Yeah, so that will be that. I will be editing the last section of Blood Vows Book 4, The Choice Will's Story. I will be editing my wrap-up for tomorrow, for the book wrap-up for the month of September, and I will be editing the weekly vlog for hopefully Sunday, which has been the routine for the past couple of weeks. So thank you everybody who watches those, and I hope you continue to enjoy them. I'm going to take a shower and make some lunch. And I think we're going to bake some cookies today. So hopefully I can show you guys along with that, because I don't have like a filming camera sort of thing, but I'm looking into. But for now, it'll just be on my phone. So that's the plan for the rest of the day. Back to the evil day job tomorrow. But today I feel good. I feel good. I feel nice. I feel appreciative of where I live. And today was just an overall really good day. So I'll talk to you guys later.